Hi all, this is Waldemar from Better Your Chess. In this video we're going to take a look at a well-known opening pitfall from the Queen's Gambit Accepted. It features a game fragment that is quite common amongst unexperienced chess players. Black takes a gambit pawn and then clings onto it just a bit too much. Okay, let's get started. d4, d5, c4, d takes c4, the so-called Queen's Gambit Accepted. It's not a real pawn sacrifice, since white can win back the pawn immediately if he so wishes with queen a4 check. But in the main line that I want to show you, he plays here e3. The best move, however, in this position, instead of queen a4 check or e3, is knight f3, preventing a move that black could have played in the game after e3, which is played in the main line of this video. Black now plays b5. This move is a mistake and quite a common one for unexperienced players. Black hangs on to the pawn and tries to prove that white's pawn sacrifice is a real sacrifice and that he will not give the pawn back. The best move, however, in this position is the rather surprising e5, opening up the other bishop diagonal as well, challenging white's center and making use of the fact that after the faulty d takes e5, queen takes d1, king takes d1, knight c6 hitting e5, f4 protecting e5, and now bishop e6, black would be just better due to his lead in development and white's king being stuck in the center. Note that white can still not take the pawn on c4 here. Okay, well, let's go back to the main line where after e3, b5 was played, and now white plays a very strong and typical move for these structures. He plays here a4. Black's last move has provided white with a new target and he now immediately chips away at it. If he can lure away pawn b5, the defender of pawn c4, then he can take on c4 with his bishop as planned. Black now plays c6. This is another mistake and the common follow-up to the move b7, b5. Normally black arrives at this move by process of elimination, because there were other options, right? Let's see if we can figure out what black may have been thinking here. There was the option, for instance, of b takes a4. But this doesn't work because of bishop takes c4, after which the net result of the whole transaction is that black's pawns are split and weak, and pawn a4 is also on the nomination of being captured as well. White would enjoy a definite opening advantage. So if not b takes a4, then maybe a6, bolstering up pawn b5. However, this fails to appreciate the fact that the a pawn is pinned to the rook on a8 by the rook on a1. White can just take on b5 and black cannot recapture because he would lose a whole rook. Okay, so a6 is also not possible. Well, I think relatively best actually would have been to play b4, not opening up the a file, depriving white's knight on b1 from the most natural development square on c3. But after b takes c4, white would still enjoy a regular opening advantage, and he has chances to make use of the weaknesses in black's queen side, most notably caused by the fact that black's been running his b pawn up the board. Okay, but back to the main line, where after a4 black plays the faulty c6. White now captures on b5 and continues his demolition of black's queen side. Black thinks, however, demolition? What do you mean demolition? I didn't put my pawn on c6 for nothing. I'll now just recapture and in the process protect my pawn on c4, right? So your bishop from f1 still cannot come out. However, this is executing the faulty plan of clinging on to the pawn and the structure. It was time to hit the brakes with bishop b7, for instance. After bishop takes c4, black's setup would have failed, but he would not lose immediately as in the main line after c takes b5. Can you see how white can now win the game? Please pause the video for as long as you like. I will count to 3, then come back and we will compare answers. 1, 2, 3. Probably you've noticed it by now. It is of course Queen F3. Ouch! The danger comes from another direction now. Black's recapture on b5 with the c-pawn has completely opened up the long diagonal. The queen is hitting the rook in the corner and there is no way to save it anymore. White wins. Well, with that we've come to the end of this video. Did you enjoy it? Then please consider liking, commenting or subscribing. Thanks for watching and hey, be careful out there.